Welcome to episode 1 of the currently unnamed podcast. On today's episode, we're going to talk Wicked. We're going to talk about the We Were the Lucky Ones TV series. We're going to talk the worst and best film or book to film adaptations, that is. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to play a little game so you can get to know us because that's the obligatory thing to do on this dilution of the podcast scene. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Sorry to the video viewers because, we did have technical issues. Right?
Yeah, a couple of technical issues that we're hoping to get sorted out and teething issues, but we will sort that out. Hopefully 3 other episodes have gone live at the exact same time as this one, all with video. So make sure you go and watch those after you, or listen to those wherever you listen to your pods. So we are pretty much going to try and release an episode a week from now on with special guests talking about just anything we kind of want to for the week.
The regular podcast thing to do nowadays in 2024.
If you have any suggestions on topics that you'd like us to cover, anything like that, please let us know. That would be amazing. As well as us just talking about all of our favourite things in the world, pop culture, series, time periods, anything and everything. Absolutely anything.
Anything.
And we're hoping to get some cool special guests on there, so stay tuned.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
That's all right. All right.
Camera mark.
Camera.
Audio mark.
Speed. This is very first take of the first podcast episode. And okay.
Hello.
Welcome. I hope everyone's doing good.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
How was the bolognese?
I made dinner at 4:30 p.m. today because I was hungry, so...
It was good. I enjoyed it.
It was very nice.
Well, on today's episode, we're going to talk about... we're going to talk about books and films.
First off, I don't even know who you are.
You don't need to know who I am.
The air of mysterious.
I enjoy many a things. My name's Jay.
My name's Ashley.
My wife, Ashley.
Your wife?
And I'm just her dishwasher. And...
we just got married, so...
we just got married?
Hearing husband and wife still feels really weird.
What's your good vibe for the week?
My good vibe, the Wicked trailer. It got released today, and It blew my mind.
We're going to come back to that and talk about it as well, because I want to talk about that.
Yeah, it actually blew my mind.
Really
I had
cool.
Full body chills, tears in my eyes.
The guys are going to be like, you.
That is my good vibe.
Honestly, it's going to be good.
What is your good vibe?
My good vibe for the week? I don't know. I've had a renaissance on cheese and bacon rolls.
Did you buy a really big packet and then eat them all?
I bought a 4-pack of cheese and bacon rolls yesterday. Yeah, I had 2 yesterday. I had 2 today. And that's honestly a good vibe.
That means what, like 20% of your body mass is cheese and bacon rolls?
Currently, I'm sitting at about 2% cheese and bacon roll, yes. When I break it down, well, I'm like 70 kilos and have 700 grams of cheese and bacon rolls. I'm like 1%. I'm like 1% cheese and bacon roll.
Okay. Your body would have digested since then, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Do you have a bad vibe?
Bad vibe? Bad vibe for the week. Or I kind of want to touch on this as well, which would be cool. Bad vibe, but good vibe. We've been watching We Were the Lucky Ones.
Heavy show.
Yeah. I've been doing some research into certain ideologies.
Yeah.
Just to figure out why it happened.
Such a great show, but it's such a heavy watch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Any bad vibe for you? Would that be your bad vibe?
I just think I need to watch something really upbeat and kid happy after I watch that. So I wouldn't say it's really a bad vibe.
Well, when we watched it the other night, did we watch MotoGP and then We Were the Lucky Ones?
Yes.
So we started off on the highest of highs.
Yeah.
To the lowest of lows.
You're right. Bad vibe would be, I got a stone chip in my windscreen.
Oh, that's the bad vibe.
That is a bad vibe, but I got it fixed today. So, but that's the second chip in a windscreen in the last year for my car. So big bad vibes, but that's okay.
Good.
And that was good vibes and bad vibes.
That was good vibes and bad vibes, indeed.
That's going to be a cute little segment that we do every time to start off the pod.
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be nice.
Cool. Well, that's how we're going to start the show. of which hopefully we come up with a name of it by the end.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Wicked trailer. The Wicked trailer just dropped.
Oh my goodness.
What
Okay.
the actual is going on? So Wicked musical, if you don't know, we're going to assume everyone knows what Wicked is.
If they've talked to Ashley, they know what Wicked is.
Wicked's great.
It's my favorite musical of all time, and they are making it into a movie. It's going to be in 2 parts.
Mhm.
It is directed by John M. Chu, who directed In the Heights musical movie and Crazy Rich Asians, which are absolute stellar movies. And I think it could not have been in better hands. Like, this story of Wicked has been on Broadway for 20 years, has been tried to be made into a movie countless times and never gotten there.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're finally doing it. And I think genuinely, I was just saying to you before we started that...
Oh, well, they're not doing it. It's done.
It's done. So
it's done.
Yeah. So I think I was saying this to you before we started filming when we were saying our very first thoughts, because I made Jay watch the trailer before we started so he knew what was going on. And I genuinely think they had to wait for the right director and the right cast and the right team for this, because it seems like every single person that has been on this and had something to do with making this movie has been 110% in, like, pure love has been put into it. And you can see it even in a trailer, even in the sneak peek looks, like you could just see it. And it makes me very happy.
And I think this director, what was his name? John
M. Chu.
John M. Chu. I think he's like, well, from In the Heights, which
is so good.
Don't do that justice of its vocal talent, but I sing it in the car anyway. In the Heights, like, you can tell with this Wicked trailer, it's clearly that he's got his own style of producing.
Oh yeah,
a movie musical.
I think that was.
I would like to see a John M. Chu High School Musical reunion, but anyway.
Oh my goodness!
I think that I might actually give it a chance.
Are you sure you actually want to, like, go for Kenny Ortega like that? Because Kenny Ortega is an absolute genius, and he did the High School Musicals, and I don't think anyone else would be able to do them. But the Wicked trailer, I think it was a very good depiction of how trailers should be.
Yeah, it was good too.
Because you've seen, like, in the last couple of years, a couple of movie trailers, like most movie trailers, you can just watch the trailer and have seen the whole plot. And it's just,
or you see
all the funny jokes
the thing
in the
where
comedy.
It's like, that's the best part of the movie. You've just given away.
Yeah. Whereas I think Wicked shows enough for people to get the gist of the story if they don't know the story. But the people who know the story, it gives enough, like, Easter eggs and, like, hype around it, that, like, key scenes that are really exciting and all that kind of stuff. I think it just brings it all into, like, this perfect melting pot of excitement. It shows off the vocals in the background and then gives them their key moments.
There's only 2 lines they sing in the whole trailer. And you're like, oh.
But there's also there's only a few lines that they focus on, but there's a lot of singing in the background when there's talking over it.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of that there. You're getting a lot of, like, the sets and costuming. Holy moly. It looks so good and so fantastical and amazing.
Yeah.
And they really did take, like, what is on Broadway and in the musical and how fantastical those costumes are, but then just, like, leveled it up for the screen, because they can do so many more intricate details because it's up close. It's not, you don't have to have a whole stage and be able to perform for the back room and, like, the back seat. It's up close. And they can focus in on those really small things. And I just think it looks so good.
It does. It looks really good.
There's already melody changes that they teased, and I literally lost my marbles.
Which makes it fresh for fans that are...
Yeah, because you're so comfortable with how these most cherished songs are in the theatre community. You can't tell I'm a big theatre nerd. In the theatre community, every song from Wicked is so well loved and so cherished that anytime there's a deviation from it in any type of performance, everyone loses their minds.
Yeah.
And this was such a good, and, like, sometimes it's like a good lose your mind of, like, oh my God, that was amazing. How did they think of that melody change? And then other times they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That was terrible. And I think this one that they teased in there was so good. And I know a lot of people were really worried about like Ariana Grande as Glinda and everything like that because they were like, oh, she's just a pop star. But people forget she literally started on Broadway.
Yeah.
So her first introduction to the industry was in 13, the musical, on Broadway when she was 13.
Which makes her a fan
and she's always loved it. And like, you know, in the Passion Project kind of thing that they released before the trailer, they showed her saying that she went and seen it when she was 10. And like has always wanted to be Glinda. So I think that's just the heart that she would have put into the role.
Yeah.
Is why I think that it's going to be as good as it is.
The heart that she puts in is her as a 10-year-old.
Yeah. And like and that's why I think they had to wait for the right for the right cast because I don't think like it's a lot just going off the trailer, but it looks so well cared for as a musical.
But you're also talking about like that other trailer they put out, the Passion Project.
Yeah.
Where it's like it shows them getting the roles and them like freaking the hell out.
Yeah, and
which
I think,
of course you do with something that huge, with something that's tried to be done as a movie for how long? Like if Star Wars had all this build up for 20 years of like, oh, we want to make this movie about Star Wars. I mean, it wouldn't be the same, but
yeah. So
it
it's
hasn't
like,
been in
and it's such a cherished,
such
a cherished piece of art.
But like when 8 Mile becomes a musical, same thing. I'm waiting for 8 Mile to become a musical.
Oh, goodness.
I'm the only one voting for that. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. But yes, so the trailer that they fully released, everyone lost their minds over the Super Bowl, like the teaser trailer that got released during the Super Bowl. That made everyone lose their marbles. And then now...
Oh, that was at the Super
Super Bowl.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah, all right.
And then that was only like a minute long, not even, and everyone lost their minds. I think it was like 30 seconds.
Yep.
And then they released, before they dropped the trailer, they released the Passion Project, which is like a cute little behind the scenes look of like, you know, them finding out that they got the roles. And John M. Chu talks a bit about how he went about doing the show and everything like that. And then they released the actual trailer today. And I think just from those 3 things, it has such high hopes and high standards. Like everyone has collectively, I think, in the theatre community released a breath of, oh, okay, we're not as scared anymore because there has been some really bad like musical to movie adaptations.
Which we're going to similarly talk about
Which we are going to talk about later, yes.
Book to screen, but musical to screen wise. So did people, when they released it at the Super Bowl, I'm guessing during the halftime show?
No one knew.
Yeah, so no one knew they'd been filming this. So in between, while they're playing it, in between shots of Taylor Swift in a corporate box, and then they cut to Wicked.
Not to Taylor
so
Swift
no one actually
wanting
knew.
to.
No one actually knew of.
So we knew that the filming had happened. There'd been a few things released,
like rumors and stuff.
Well, so they'd released who was playing Glinda, Elphaba, like the main cast. They released that. They hadn't really, and then there'd been like drone footage that someone had managed to get of like on set.
Whoa.
Like it was insane.
CIA.
Yeah. So and it was like
creeps in action.
And it was of Ariana Grande in like Munchkinland, dressed up as Glinda. Like it was insane because they actually filmed this movie. If you didn't know, is going to be in 2 parts. So they're actually, I'm hoping,
like Act 1 and Act 2 of
I'm hoping that they split it in actual Act 1 and Act 2, and they finish the first movie with Defying Gravity.
Yeah,
and then they start. But the thing is, that is a fair way into the story, and also like as all kind of shit hits the fan with Defying Gravity, then the second act, I don't know how that would translate into being a whole separate movie other than just like a 20-minute intermission, because it'll be a whole year between.
Yeah, true.
So it's a big difference. But they're releasing part 1 on Thanksgiving, which looks so good. But they didn't tell anyone that there was going to be a teaser trailer or anything dropped. So all we had kind of seen is the cast announcements, anything that they'd kind of put up, and they started teasing like poster photos with just like the shadows of the main 2 girls right before the Super Bowl. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't even halftime. It was just in one of the ad breaks of the Super Bowl, the teaser trailer come up for 30 seconds. It was insane. Everyone lost their minds.
Literally would have flipped. Yeah.
Actually lost their minds. And then social media just exploded because they all, like Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, John M. Chu, they all uploaded that teaser trailer at the same time as soon as it aired in the Super Bowl, and it just went mental.
You know, one thing that I've like thought about just as we've watched this trailer, is there any trailers that you go back and watch? Because sometimes it's like, obviously the trailer's only showing stuff that's in the movie, but there's some trailers that are just a cool piece of thing on themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, I think that would be one of them. Because it's like...
Oh, 100%.
It's a sweet little, like... You know, even when you're just talking about, someone who doesn't know what Wicked is as a musical or a movie, I think that's one of them that's like, this is significant enough that you're going to play that again and go, this is Wicked. Like,
yeah. And if you're going to go see the stage production, you'd be like, just watch the movie trailer because that gives you such a good...
I don't want to... no, we'll spoil it. We'll assume you've already... Click off this, go watch it.
You would have seen it. You would have seen it. It's everywhere.
You would have seen it by the time this comes out anyway. But it's got all those cool bits in it of like Glinda not liking Elphaba, and then Elphaba's like trying to fit in, and then she like says, "Oh, you want to wear the hat thing," and like that. Yeah. That in itself is like a thing where you can understand what the gist is.
But it also shows them hugging and them going to Oz, all that to Emerald City together. Exactly. So like it does spoil the fact that they end up liking each other, but I don't think that actually... Not a massive thing. It doesn't give away from the thing. But I think it was really good with there were so many quick cuts to like Ariana Grande doing a freaking high kick to her bloody chin and flinging on a ceiling fan. Yeah. Like, which will be in Popular, which will be so good. And I think Ariana Grande really stepped back into her theatre roots for this. And I'm really, really excited for her to show everyone that she's not just like a pop star that she's been in the last 10 years, that her roots are in theatre. And I'm very excited about it. And the fact that they chose Cynthia Erivo, who is a theatre gal, like she is a theatre girly. That is her thing. Yeah. And now she's doing all that. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I could talk for years about it. But
I was going to say, well, talking about musical to screen. So what are we set a challenge for this episode to talk about from book to screen. So books that have been adapted into films, whether good or bad, which I don't know.
Films
I've done some research.
Or TV series.
I don't read. I can't read. No, I can read. I
can't read.
I can't read as I sit here with a massive iPad, which by the way, it's only because I'm filming on my phone. But yeah, I've got a few books here. A couple of them I know you've read.
Okay. And am I going to...
And again, I don't read. I can't read, but I can watch the films.
I'm getting him to read, guys.
So you can tell me kind of whether they're good or bad. Like a lot of them I know just from watching reviews or whatever on the film. And even when you just watch the film, you know it's a bad movie. But it's like, why is it such a bad movie when the book is like an all-time bestseller?
Yeah.
Which brings me to one that neither of us have read, but apparently that is one, was the Hobbit movies. The Hobbit was one book from J.R. Tolkien. Has very dissimilar, or not too dissimilar themes from Lord of the Rings, but it's not the same about like, good overcoming evil and all this.
Yeah.
And they somehow made 3 movies out of that. Out of that one book.
Like how do you pull that much information?
They tried to make a franchise out of it. No one... there's some people like them. I think like the new Star Wars trilogy. It's like some people like the first one and then it just got carried away.
But you know
that's
what?
one of them.
I actually think The Hobbit is more watchable than Lord of the Rings.
Thanks. Yep.
I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan.
So this is the first and last episode of this. As the two hosts will fight forever. Yeah, but like Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings was 1,000 pages or whatever, turned into 3 beautiful movies.
I think also the thing is...
3 beautiful, very easy, watchable movies.
Okay. Okay, calm down. See that high horse you're on? Just step down.
No, that's fair.
So I think the Hobbits were made more as like an entertainment thing, and they were a bit more loosey-goosey with like, it was more made for film. Whereas,
I mean, we don't have to go too in depth on it, but that was just one that I thought.
The Lord of the Rings was very like stay to the source material because they know that they have the dedicated fans of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Whereas same with Harry Potter.
But they tried to make it like too Lord of the Rings because I was just like, as I was researching this topic, a lot of people are saying Hobbit's not about that. It's just about like the growing up with adventure or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was just one of them.
Okay. Would
So
you
have you
like one of my...
Yeah, you go.
Do you want one of my best or one of my worst?
Go one of your worst.
Okay.
We'll start off with 2 worst and then we'll go 2 best. And then
Okay,
2 worst.
well, do we want one that's released or is about to be released?
Most of mine are bad. So
yeah, so
go either.
do we want one that's already been released or like is not released yet?
Yeah, no, go already released.
Okay, sure. So,
and then we can hypothesize later on the one that's not because I don't understand.
Okay, so I think one of the worst book to movie adaptations would have to be Goblet of Fire.
Okay.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, all right, reasons.
The director for that movie blatantly didn't read the book.
Oh, this is right. Yeah,
it is the biggest book with the most information in it in the whole 8-book or 7-book series, and he didn't read it.
Ooh.
And blatantly, they missed out on full characters that also had really big story arcs and character arcs that fed into the next 3 books after Goblet of Fire, because Goblet of Fire is number 4.
Yep.
And then, because he didn't put them in this movie, the next director that came in couldn't use them.
There was a lot. Yeah, that's
and
right.
And then they had to change things. And then there's plot holes because characters weren't introduced, so they gave the responsibility of some information or whatever to go to someone else, and it didn't make sense.
And I didn't realize there's so much to do with house elves.
That's one of the...
This like is one of the
characters. The
elves.
character that they left out is Winky.
Winky, yeah.
Winky the house elf. And also, Dobby has a lot to do in those movies.
Yeah.
And in the books. So leaving them
even
out...
like massive concepts in terms of like the what the hell's the society that Hermione creates?
Spew. The Society of Promotion of Elfish Welfare.
That's it. Elfish Welfare State.
And she keeps... So there's a whole part in the book.
Ghouls.
There's a whole part in... I don't know which book it is. I don't know if it's Goblet of Fire or whether it's in Half-Blood Prince. I have not read the books in a while. But the house elves actually stop cleaning the Gryffindor common room because Hermione knits little hats, socks, whatever, to try and trap these elves into being free.
Yeah.
Because she's seen how much Dobby enjoyed it. But now Dobby actually has... He works in the Hogwarts kitchens, is like his story arc.
Yeah.
He gets liberated from the Malfoys, and then he agrees to work for Dumbledore for a price. And I think it's like 1 galleon a week, but it's still insane.
Oh, still, that's like rich.
He loves it.
He's actually splurging.
Yeah, but Hermione starts literally hiding these little knitted hats and socks and jumpers in the common room because if they accidentally pick it up,
that's like a massive thing they've missed.
In
the movie.
But that's not it. Like, oh. And like, I don't know. It's one of those things. And so
that's a massive one.
That's a massive one where it's like the whole book. There's a few things like that also by the time it got to like Deathly Hallows kind of ruined it with the movie because like, I don't know why they didn't do all the revelation stuff because they also missed out on a lot of characters and a lot of information.
Yeah.
But also the fact that Voldemort like disappears into like paper dust instead of the whole point. Like I have genuinely made everyone in my family plus Jay, if they haven't read all the Harry Potter books, I don't care. I have made them read that final like 4 chapters of Harry Potter where they do the whole revelation of who the Master of the Elder Wand is, all that kind of stuff, and that the breaking of the last Horcruxes. I have read that final battle scene of them in the Great Hall. I even made like my stepdad read it and he doesn't even care about Harry Potter, but I read it to him because I was like, you need to understand that this makes no sense.
Yeah.
And the whole point was they were getting rid of his Horcruxes because he wanted to be immortal, because he wanted to avoid the mortal life. But in the end, he just died, dropped on the ground and was thrown out into the rest of the pile of bodies as a normal person. He died a normal death. He didn't disintegrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways.
Well,
they're kind of my Harry Potter gripes.
Yeah. Anyway, we could go on for a long time about the Harry Potter.
But the best Harry Potter books, 1 to 3.
We're gonna definitely have like Potter episodes for the Pottermores out there.
Yeah, I think we're
gonna get our Lord of the Rings one, boys. We're gonna get the Lord of the Rings episode.
You might need to have a guest on for the Lord of the Rings one because I won't be able to.
It's gonna be a 4-hour episode. Yeah. Oh, we probably should have stated that at the start that these are gonna be like hour-long episodes. So don't worry. you probably realize this is going to be like near an hour long.
Yeah.
If we feel like we're going to keep talking, we're going to upload 2 episodes at once, or we're going to put it somewhere else, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But,
short tangent. Next.
On
one.
the same vein of Harry
same
Potter.
vein of
I
Harry
think the
Potter.
best book to movie adaptations,
Mhm.
books 1 and 2.
Cool.
100%.
Yeah.
Chris Columbus absolutely nailed the feeling
Those
of
are
going
forever
first to Hogwarts and everything like that, and the basilisk and everything like that. That was so great. But yeah, that's probably my best.
They are forever good movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just encapsulates like the magic of the beginning. But
Very
anyways,
nice.
what's your next one?
This one, again, I can't read. No, I haven't read. I don't know why I keep saying that. I haven't read it. But I know. I think you have.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain you have because we've watched, and I'm not talking the TV show series. Speaking the movie, Ancient Greek Mythology, Percy Jackson.
Ooh.
The movies. Like,
Yeah.
even just based with the main character from the little things that you've showed me of the movie. I haven't even seen the movie either. This is how little I know about it. But I've seen the TV show series, so I know what the story's about.
Yeah.
But they even messed up with the main character. He's like 26 and he's going to be a preteen.
So the first Percy
He's going to be like a
Jackson
13-year-old,
he's
right?
13, yeah.
Yeah.
So the original, hang on, I need to get his name.
This in my research, I will let you know before we go into it.
Yes.
In my research, this is like critically, like the critics say this is like the very worst book to film adaptation.
It is.
Like just missed the mark. With it also being just an odd movie.
It's actually really interesting that you say that because we're going to also talk about this same actor in
one of your ones?
So you know how we were talking earlier about We Were the Lucky Ones?
Yes.
The guy who plays Addy in that is the same guy who plays Percy. So his name is Logan Lerman.
He's great.
He is great. He's in one of my favorite like teen coming of age movies called
Sexy
The Perks
teen
of
movies.
No.
Sexy
It's
teen
called
movies.
The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It is the most amazing, and that's based on a book too.
Is that like The Fault in Our Stars point two?
No, it's nothing like that. I'll have to introduce you to it because it's really good.
We've actually watched it before.
So the book to movie adaptation.
One of our first date movies.
Yeah, that's a good book to movie
Along
adaptation.
with Burlesque. We'll just put that
I
cat out of
wanted
the
to
bag.
appeal to all. It had the singing, it had the girls in lingerie. It worked.
First date movie, good choice. Anyhow, so Percy Jackson and this guy.
Percy Jackson.
Addy.
There was Logan Lerman.
Yeah, I actually feel bad for saying Addy because I learned all about the original character that's based off.
I had a really, really big crush on Logan Lerman when I was younger. The Percy Jackson movies just was a hot mess express. Hot mess. But they have corrected it with the TV series.
I'll agree.
The only thing that I'm worried about now is right now, the kid who's playing like Walker Scobell, who plays Percy in the first season, and the 3 main, they look of age. They look 13, whatever. But the thing is, that took 2 years to make, and I'm worried that by the time they pump out the 2nd, 3rd, 4th season, he's going to look too old because he's like 15 now. So between 15 and like 16, there's a big jump there. And I'm worried that he's going to really quickly go from being 13, looking 13 to looking 18.
Yeah.
Super quick. And they're losing the momentum of having the actor that age.
Yeah.
But he does so well because Percy Jackson is sassy. Me and my best friend talk about this all the time. Like, shout out Courtney for our Percy Jackson chats. He is sassy Jackson.
Sassy Jackson.
Like, he is so sassy. The amount of times that I like literally burst out loud laughing at what he would say in the books.
Well, he's just a teen that has grown up hard. Sorry if you hear yelling in the background. And
there's a kid next door and it's
screaming.
I think
at
he's
FIFA.
playing a game. Yeah.
Don't worry, I feel you, son. I feel you.
So Percy Jackson movies, not great. Did kind of everything wrong. There was still a few things that were alright, but they changed plot points for no reason. And then like they didn't even pay off in the way that they thought they were going to pay off. And no wonder they stopped at 2 movies. But yeah, that's
literally, yeah.
I would constantly reread those books. I think they're great.
Yes.
But We Were the Lucky Ones is really great. Very heavy to watch, based on true events about a true family.
Well,
based on a book.
Yeah, based on a fiction historical fiction book. So not all the events that happen in there happen to the family, but the original writer, Georgia Hunter, I watched a big interview with her today whilst I was at work. I was working, just in case the bosses was. But I was listening to this big interview. So she went around. So she's the granddaughter of Addie, which his name later he changed it to Eddie when he moved to America. Changed it to Eddie, but all the places that the family is in, like the places and the whereabouts, that's all real. Not all the events are exactly what happened, but like the faking of passports, whatever, the boats, the trains, whatever, but not all the events that actually happened. But she can guarantee that those events happen to other people. And
so she just
so
wanted
that's
to
still
show
a good depiction, but not everything happened to that family.
Yeah.
So it's not, you can't really say, and it's sad because even she was like, it's pretty sad, but because they wrote the book under the guise of it being a novel, technically they can't call it like a historical depiction.
Yeah, it can't be a historical fiction.
Because it is, it can't be a depiction of what's happened because they can't say like this happened.
Well, because the thing is like, there's a lot of things, and when you learn about World War II, you learn about all the horrific things that happened, and it seems like they've made a really conscious effort. That's so loud.
Hey, wait, you keep going. I'm going to shut the door whilst we're on the pod.
So the all the things that happen, it seems like this family of like, I think there's 8 of them, goes through kind of every single thing that happened throughout. But I think that's just because she really wanted to show a wide range of all the horrific things that happened, and the only way she could really do that was have it all happen to the same family or friends of the family that are really close.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really great way to do it, and to show like, because even as we were watching, I think it was episode 4, we're sitting there going, oh my God, I can't believe they're actually going to show this. Oh my God. Like, no spoilers, because I don't want to talk about it. But like, I was sitting there the whole time, like hands over my eyes, like looking through my eyes, absolutely terrified that they were actually showing it. And the thing is, normally in like most kind of historical movies that based on World War II, they cut away before the actual horror happens. But they do the setup, so if you know about it, you know what's going to happen next, but they don't actually show it. And this movie, like this series, is really brave because they don't cut away.
Yeah, it's pretty...
I think it's so great.
It's pretty crazy. It's kind of messed up, but it is a great story. And I was glad in a way, because the whole time I was kind of like, oh, this is like exactly what happened to these people. But turns out it's actually not what happened to the people. But she went around and interviewed all those parts of her family, because she's a direct descendant of this Kurtz family. Anyway, we won't get too much on the topic. I got my next one. No, I went 50 Shades of Grey was apparently a bad adaptation from the movie, but I haven't read the book and I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't read the book or seen the movies either, so I can't touch on that.
And we don't want to touch it. Anyway, next one. Next one was so bad that the director said no more. Some of the best, like he has one of the best movies.
Yeah.
And best stories about Christmas written.
About Christmas.
Dr. Seuss said no more after The Cat in the Hat was released.
That's okay.
It's an hour and a half meme out of a book that's like 12 pages long.
Yeah, so people
no wonder.
People hate that movie. I think it is.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
It's up on the list of the worst ones anyway.
You just cannot take it seriously.
Well,
the second you take it seriously, bad. You actually enjoy it for what it is. Amazing.
When you come in from the meme perspective, it's amazing. But that's the reason they say it's the worst, is because like the movie has sexual innuendos and like it's the book. You don't open it up and it has
it's Mike Myers as cat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mike Myers plays the cat.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were thinking Austin Powers would take that role without any type of innuendo or anything. And it's so good because the way he does it, though, flies over every kid's head.
But that's the one I'm thinking. I'm literally thinking
family movie.
The scene that sticks in my head is he goes, all right, let's see what's under the hood. And he's looking for something under the couch and he has like a plumber's crack. Yeah. It's like you don't open Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat and it's in there.
It's so good.
So it makes sense as to why they've put it. It's on like one of the worst of all time from
but
book
it's
to
so
movie
good.
adaptations. But at the same time, it's like it's such a good movie to kids that grew up with it.
But also, it in itself, like completely separated from its source material,
Oh yeah,
is such a great film.
yeah, it is.
Like
it is.
And like How the Grinch Stole Christmas is another Dr. Seuss.
Yeah,
so great.
That was like one of the like best movies of all time for sure.
So great.
Just because of how good it is.
I love
Jim Carrey. Like fuck.
love that.
Oh dude.
I can't believe you brought up Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, Cat in the Hat.
I feel like we need to watch it again because I haven't watched it in years. It's so good.
I was going through like lists on Google and I was like, Cat in the Hat. I'm like, wait, that movie's nothing. So yeah, technically speaking, it is a terrible adaptation of the book because it should have been 10 seconds long.
So, okay, one of my bests.
Mhm.
I've got kind of two more bests. That I've got
also,
a
wait,
couple
before
more
I stray off that
worsts.
one, the Cat in the Hat one, he said no more to, I think, live adaptations. Or live.
Oh,
yeah.
did Grinch come out before?
Well, because then
Cat
there
in
was
the
like
Hat?
all these other ones that were still.
Lorax and all that
Horton
kind of
Hears a
stuff.
Who and all
Yeah,
this.
they're all animated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so maybe Grinch came out before.
So I'm pretty certain he said no
Cat
more
in the Hat.
to. Yeah, there was an
Live
interview
action.
that said no more.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have two more bests and kind of two more worsts.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So my next best is specifically the first Hunger Games movie. I think the like low budget kind of like shaky cam handheld kind of like documentary style like grungy is so great in that first Hunger Games movie, and they lose it second and third.
Yeah.
Like they kind
lose
of lose it because they get a big budget.
Yeah, but again, I haven't read the books, but
they
the
lose the
movies are
like
great.
that like grungy, grainy like heart of the film
Mm.
that they have in the first one. That look and feel is so
The depressing, like they've been oppressed for how many years?
yeah, it's so good. But it also
Yeah, you're right, because then it goes to that sort of warm toned. Every time they're in even the poor parts of the movie, it's all yellow and it's the oranges and
you can tell that it's better cameras and you can tell that it's better costuming and better everything.
It's not
which
dull.
like you can say is like a really poetic way of saying that like because once they win the Hunger Games they get all these riches and stuff, so like it does depict that. But just looking at first book to first movie, 100%, it's so great.
Yeah,
they miss out on a few things, but they're not major enough that they affect the next books or the next movies. You know, like there's not
I found
big
that in
plot
my
points.
list as well. Like people had that up as one of the
It is
best.
so great, and it is one of the ones that I will go back and watch.
And even like themes and stuff, are they the same to the book?
Yeah,
we were meant to read it in school, but again, I can't read.
What Cliff Notes?
I can read.
So that's one of my best. How many more?
Yeah,
what do you
100%.
have?
Well, I've got one. I've realized. Oh, well, technically, I had two on my list because Hunger Games was on my list as well. Another one I had. Again, I haven't read the book. This is just from research, but a book from what soldiers in World War II read.
Ooh.
Which was a book written about the First World War, All Quiet on the Western Front.
I knew you were going to talk about this, actually.
So, that movie was amazing. Again, some people put it up with Saving Private Ryan, but that's got a special place in my heart. But yes, close second to favourite war film.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, it depicts everything. And one of the key notes was the way mud was pretty hard for soldiers across any battlefield. But Western Front especially, they were saying the mud, like people were like drowning in it. I know, pretty messed up. People were like drowning in it. They were losing like horses and trucks in mud. And in All Quiet on the Western Front book, there's a big thing of like him describing this sucking, sticking mud, saying it's like a nightmare for the soldiers. And the movie has it like as so many big themes of like from the very opening scene where they're first jumping over the trenches, like he's getting stuck in the mud and he's falling over in it, and then like he's battling in it, and then later on he like essentially murders someone with mud.
And like, but you can even see, even like when they don't pay huge attention to it, he'll be just running past and you'll see like 3 people face down in the mud. Or, you know, a lot of people are stuck in the mud, or, you know, stuff like that. So
that was one of the key themes.
Yeah, they show it. Now that you've
I know that
said
sounds stupid, key theme being mud, but like
no, but
apparently that's something.
Yeah, now that you've said that that's sticking out to me when I'm thinking about the scenes in the movie.
And apparently, and going on from that, the thing with like soldiers reading it. So soldiers were reading this book in World War II about the mud, going over into Western conflict, and were like, oh, that's so true. And so many soldiers from then have like written it up in their diaries as the sucking mud.
Oh.
Or sucking mud, I think is what they say, because it sucks you under or something.
So
anyhow,
I can kind of do like a 2-for-1 in this worst.
Well, I've only got one left.
Okay, I'm gonna just do 2-for-1 because they're both musicals.
Bet.
They're both musical to movie adaptations.
Yeah.
One is Dear Evan Hansen. I love that musical.
Oh, you mean Percy Jackson?
No.
They made the guy old.
No, but the thing is,
he's meant to be a
Percy Jackson. No, but Percy Jackson was like meant to be 13, but looked like he was 16.
Yeah.
This guy was meant to be like 15, and he looked like he was 35 because he is 35. So the thing is, and this is very controversial, but it's very talked about. Ben Platt originated the role on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
He is a cute little nepo baby.
So like perfected the role?
Perfected the role. He was through the workshops. He opened it on Broadway, played it for over a year. Absolutely phenomenal in the role.
Yeah.
But he pretty much said, the movie is not going to happen unless I am playing the titular character of Evan Hansen.
Oh.
And that is ballsy. When
Damn.
he had been out of the role for like 6 years or something like that. Like, he had been out of the role of Broadway for ages. He is 35 years old and trying to play 16-year-old. The thing is, he doesn't actually look that old, but whatever costuming wig they put him in made him look older.
Yeah, they made him look older. I've only seen the trailer, I think.
Yeah, so
I tried watching it while I was by myself,
bad.
but it's a bit weird when you watch it by yourself.
So that's one, and like I'm not going to touch too much more on that. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Mean Girls. So if anyone's unaware, Mean Girls, the movie.
Oh, is this the recent one?
Got made into a musical on Broadway.
Oh.
I seen it on Broadway.
Yeah.
I seen it with Renee Rapp as Regina George.
Yeah.
And it was the original cast, but Renee had been taken over for Regina, and then there was a different Gretchen. And I think the cast that I got was absolutely amazing.
Mm.
But then they decided to make that version of the Mean Girls, the musical, into a movie, but not promote it as a musical.
Yeah, yeah.
None of the promo did it say it was a musical, didn't have any of the songs in there, didn't have anything. The only thing they really had was a musical note in the A of Mean Girls.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
And everyone who knows that
hard.
It's based on the Broadway show, we're like, holy moly, this is not going to go down well because people are going to go
and remember
to see this. People are going to go see
the
this
trailer
film
as well?
Yeah.
The trailer was like...
There was not one hint of it being a musical.
Yeah, it didn't
Any
look like
of the
a
trailers.
musical.
The thing is, people that don't like musicals or aren't musical fans are going to go to this film and absolutely hate it because they didn't realize it was a musical. And the movie opens up with a musical number. And also just the amount of Gen Z that they threw into that and like pop culture with TikTok and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, so dumb.
Oh my God, don't.
It's not in the musical,
it's not in the musical. The most they have is like they have some phone stuff. They do not have TikTok in there. They do not have influencers in it. I don't know why these new age movies and like re-adaptations all of a sudden are adding in like full live stream or TikTok clips with like either YouTubers, influencers, TikTok stars. I don't get it. Maybe
they're trying to be the greatest artists of all time.
No, but
they're being our Mean Girls because they're doing... No, they're literally like ruining it for the musical fans and destroying the original story for the fans of the movie. While simultaneously, if you've never heard about Mean Girls and you go see the new movie...
They think it was terrible.
They'll go, this sucks. So they literally ruined it for everyone because it sucks.
So do you want to know the thing is too that I really had a problem with?
Mm.
The original Mean Girls movie came out in 2003, right?
Yeah.
20 years later... New movie comes out, 2023.
Ooh.
Right, 20 years.
Destroyed.
The title, like one of their big things in their promo for this new movie was Not Your Mum's Mean Girls or Not Your Mother's Mean Girls.
That's right, yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, then it's not
They
Mean
wouldn't be
Girls.
mothers.
Also, it wouldn't be Mean Girls.
But also the people who grew up between 2003 and like when Mean Girls was released and then all the while that it became like a cult classic, they'd be like 35.
Yeah, still.
If they watched it at 15, they'd be 35.
Yeah.
They'd have like a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old.
Yeah, maybe.
Roughly. Like the average age
If
of
you're talking median.
Well, the median age of kind of people having babies is like 25 to 35, right?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be like, oh my God, unless you had a baby at 15.
Yeah.
You know, and then you had, like, you wouldn't be going with your teenage daughter to watch this new Mean Girls.
I just know it sucked.
It really was bad.
It sucked.
Anyway, do you want to do...
It was bad.
your
I've only
last
got one more. Again, it's a bad one. Haven't read the book, but it's currently a hot topic. Dune, but I'm not talking about the new movie. I'm talking about the original David Lynch, 1984.
That no one knows exists, really.
Well, I think it had like a $10 million budget or something back in the day, and they only made back $4 million or something ridiculous like that.
Wow.
It was $4 million, and they only made back $1 sort of thing. It sucked in the box office. Like, people did not like it. The effects for nowadays don't hold up. Then you go back and watch other movies from 1984. The effects didn't hold up for that day either. And they tried to cramp such a complex story into one movie, which I'm glad the new ones didn't do, which I still haven't seen the new ones, so no spoilers. But
I don't know how they'll be able to spoil it, but sure.
Yeah, so...
Wow. Yeah. Dune.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them yet either, but I've heard very good things.
Yeah.
So
Well, the original story didn't work. The original movie didn't work out that well.
My final two. There's one
Your
best
two?
and one
Yep.
worst. One best. It's another book that we had to read in high school that I can guarantee Jay didn't read. Holes.
I watched the movie, didn't read the book.
I told you.
Yeah.
So Holes was actually one of the best
It's a great movie.
book to movie adaptations. There is like, I wouldn't want to throw out a statistic and be wrong, but roughly 30% of the dialogue in that film is directly from the books.
That's good.
Like,
That's good.
direct quotes, direct everything. It is so well done.
Mm.
And it holds up.
And just a wicked film.
1000%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's something just so amazing.
And the intro sequence is one of the best.
But also there's something so amazing about like the guy being called Stanley Yelnats, which is literally Stanley spelled backwards.
Yelnats.
Yelnats is Stanley spelled
Yeah,
backwards.
fair.
But anyways, that's my
They
best.
did him justice.
And then my worst hasn't actually come out yet, but there's been a lot of worry about this one. So you know how we were saying like Wicked looks great, it looks like it's in the right hands. This one, everyone is very worried.
What's this next one?
So it's called It Ends With Us.
It ends
It's
with
a Colleen Hoover book.
I thought you were going to say a different Colleen that we don't speak about anymore.
No. A Colleen Hoover book.
Yeah.
I've read the book. Colleen Hoover has also gotten a lot of flack about her books. It's a very hard-hitting book.
Yes.
The characters are like max 26, I think, in this book.
Ooh.
They have 40-year-olds playing the main characters, and they look old. And like, so the main character isn't Lily, and she's meant to have like an eclectic fashion sense with like mixing patterns and doing this stuff. And every single set photo, anything that got released, everyone's like, oh no, they're ruining this story.
Okay. So everyone's in
So
belief
the
that it's
main
gonna
characters the main actors that are playing it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. So Justin Baldoni is meant to be playing this like bad
Where have I heard
boy.
Blake Lively? Blake Lively's someone's...
Blake Lively's Ryan Reynolds' wife. You know the blonde one?
Yeah.
You know the blonde one?
Yep.
That's Blake Lively. She is absolutely amazing, just not for this role, I don't
Right.
think. She, absolutely amazing. As I said, I love Blake Lively, but not for Lily. Lily needs to be played by someone that age with the innocence. The costuming is just really weird. Like she wears like worker boots with like skirts, and it's just layers, and it's just not.
Yeah.
It's not it. And then also Justin Baldoni is meant to play this like.
So you're saying... So they've already released the trailer for this, I'm guessing?
No,
No, they haven't.
The only things that have come
So
out
we just know the cast.
is the casting and some set photos of and like leaked photos of costuming and like set and everything.
So there still is a lot of room
trailer
for it to be
actually comes out
disgusting.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Because they only just started releasing on their Instagrams teasers.
we're gonna have to update the pod.
I'm
Join us again tomorrow.
when
for
I
a reaction
tell
of
you,
that one.
when I tell you I am so worried about this show, I'm worried.
Yeah.
This was a good book. He's meant to play like this young hot surgeon that's like broody bad boy, and he just doesn't give that vibe.
No.
He'd be better for like the guy best friend role, which they also haven't announced who's playing that, I don't think. And it's like there's 3 main characters in this story, and they've only announced the main 2 like couple, and this third person is very important in the book.
Mm.
And it worries me.
That's
just the whole thing worries me.
Dude, what the hell?
I know. Anyways,
Far out.
they're mine.
Yeah.
So I'm really worried about this next trailer that comes out. I'll update you next week on the pod.
That's some terrible, like... Okay, yeah, good luck to him, I guess.
Yes.
I suppose I'll see when I get home tomorrow or you get home tomorrow from your job
Yeah.
with a cringe on your face and say, don't watch the trailer. I won't watch the trailer.
Yeah. Can say if it does get released to theatres, I will not be watching it in theatres. I will be waiting for it to come out, I think. I don't want to be disappointed in front of a lot of people in a cinema.
There it is. There's your box office smash hit. Smash budget. Anyway, I did have some other stuff we can go into, but we're going to play a little game.
Yeah.
As the reason we started this pod is because we did used to have a radio show back home.
Yeah.
In our hometown, but we now have a podcast to fill that missing void. And we used to play games, so we're going to play a game.
Yeah.
You can play along at home, or
Yeah.
you can just listen and learn a bit about us and keep this as background noise. It's not always going to be this game. It's going to be
do
different
something
games.
different every time.
Or it can be just us literally playing a game.
The only thing that really will stay is kind of like the good vibes, bad vibes.
Yeah.
Every pod episode, there'll be a good vibes and bad vibes.
Well, we're slowly getting there. You guys have learned something today.
All right.
We've learned something today.
So
I've learned something today.
This game,
Yes.
it's how well do you know me? We've each made 5 questions for each other to guess to see how well we know each other. And you can play along because if you know us, you can figure out how well you know us.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Jay has chosen. Jay has no idea what my questions are.
So
We don't know how obscure they are, how easy they are, how hard they are. We're just going to figure it out as we go.
Okay.
So I'm very excited.
Do you want to go first?
I just need to sit up really quick. Hang on.
Yeah, go.
Ow. Oh, that was really... Okay.
Anyway.
So, question 1. This is a hard one. It
What do I just
may
keep
require
saying?
some maths.
Anyway.
Hmm?
I just keep saying anyway.
So, this one may require some maths. Sorry.
Yes.
How many professional musicals have I seen live?
Holy snapping.
Now, I had to work this out myself.
Okay. Can
I'm
I
pretty
go
sure...
through... Now, do I...
Also, I'm pretty sure I've told you that I've seen every single one of these.
Yeah, right. So, anyway. So,
Yeah.
can I... But what my question is, do I have to...
You don't have to listen. You can just throw out a random number if you would like.
No.
Oh, okay.
I can list them all. But do I have to... Like, so let's say you've seen Wicked like 3 times.
Okay, so...
Do I have to add...
I do have 2 answers. I have total and I have the different musicals.
Okay, I'm just going to do the different titles.
Okay.
And I'll try and count how many that is. So, Mean Girls, because that was leaked earlier on the pod. Hamilton, because I've seen that with you. Wicked, I've seen that with you. Harry Potter, Cursed Child, seen that with you.
Mm-hmm.
The Book of Mormon?
Well, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is technically a play, but I'll count it.
It's a musical. It's a musical now, to me. They sing, they don't sing in it.
They don't.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Book of Mormon, I'm going to
Yes.
add that in. Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add that in because I always forget that one.
Mm-hmm.
Beetlejuice, you missed.
Mm-hmm.
Rip.
Sad. Very sad about that.
Yeah.
I started off with a really hard
Am I
one.
adding like, these are like big budget musicals? Because we've also seen like Junior Aladdin musical.
Professional musicals. Dumb.
All right.
Not-
Aladdin, you've seen.
Yeah. So you're at 7.
I'm at 7, by the way. 8 would be. Or I've said Hamilton already. I don't know. 8, 7.
You're
7
halfway.
I'm halfway. No, I'm not.
Yeah, I've seen
All right.
14 different musicals.
What's the other 7?
So I've seen Mamma Mia.
Ah.
I've seen Grease.
Ah.
I've seen Mary Poppins.
Ah. I suck at this.
I've seen Frozen.
Yep.
Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, you've seen
Talked about.
Okay.
I talked about that
Oh, you did?
on the pod earlier. I said.
Damn.
I have seen Wizard of Oz.
True, Wizard of Oz.
And I've seen Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
Damn.
So total.
I've dropped you off to some of those probably as well.
Yeah. Total, I have seen 17 professional musicals. Because I've seen Wicked 3 times and Hamilton twice. Because I've seen Hamilton in
America.
In San Francisco.
Yeah. There you go. Dude, I missed that one.
Yeah, you got half.
So I get 0.7 of a point.
You get half a point.
I get half a point. Okay.
Because you were halfway.
Fine.
Well, because you were halfway.
My first one's really easy.
Okay.
What competition sport have I played? And sports. What competition sport /S?
Table tennis.
Yes.
Is it just that one?
That's the only one.
Okay.
I think that's the only one.
I think so. I don't think you've ever actually
only,
competed in scooters.
No.
You've only
I've never
ever
competed in
judged.
scootering.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Number 2.
I've done competitions, but I haven't done like a tournament or anything.
Yeah. Number 2.
And they're not
Oh,
real
that
sports
would've been a
anyway,
really-
according to other people. Stick in your lane.
That would have been a really, really good question for me to have because I've played some obscure sports.
Yeah.
Anyways, didn't do that. 2. If I was on a desert island, what would I bring?
Oh.
One thing that I would
Dude,
bring.
your questions are so much better than mine. Oh my gosh. What would you bring? Well,
One thing.
see, my logical brain would say like rations and
But
stuff,
think
like
about
food, a
my
shovel.
brain.
Your brain.
Stuck on a desert island. Absolutely nothing to do.
Nothing to do. It can be one single item.
One thing.
One single item.
One thing.
One single, I don't know, this tumbler.
No.
This thing comes everywhere, but you wouldn't be able to fill it up with water. Kindle?
Yeah. My Kindle.
Yes.
100%.
Your Kindle, because you
I
got
would
like
bring
a
my
million
Kindle.
books on that
Yeah,
thing.
I would bring my Kindle.
Kindle it is, dude. Yes. 1 point.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
on
at 1 or
1.5,
1.
you're on 1.
Well, 1 to
Alright.
1.5.
This is why we want a whiteboard so we could keep score.
Yeah.
What was my very first motorcycle? The full name of it.
I know it's a Royal Enfield,
Yeah.
but I don't know what else.
Royal Enfield. Do you know how many cc's it was? No.
I know it didn't have guts. I know it didn't have guts.
No,
it could
it
barely go 110 on the highway.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But then you changed the MT-07.
Yeah, which is now Willis's, and it's very good.
Yeah, so I know, like, I just call them by the Enfield and the MT-07.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you half a point.
What is it?
Royal Enfield 500.
Oh,
That's all it's called.
okay.
Or you could say Royal Enfield 500 Classic.
I was
Black,
going to say
500,
classic.
whatever,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sorry.
But yeah,
Okay. Number
half a
3.
point.
Half a point. So we're both on 1.5.
That's a majority of it. I should just give you a full point.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Half a point.
No, but the question would have
Tight
been
score.
like, if you had a brand, what brand was it?
Yeah.
You know? Okay. 3. Am I a cookie, ice cream, or cake person?
That's so abstract.
You
Are
said
you a
to be
cookie?
absurd.
Ice cream.
You said to be absurd with the questions.
Yeah, I did write obscure.
And I will
how
say-
well do you know me?
I will say it's not just
Yeah, mine aren't obscure at all now.
like it's clearly just one. Think about like what my favorite dessert is.
Yeah, I'd probably say cake. The amount of time we go into the supermarket and you say cake.
Who are you talking about?
Well, if it's chocolate mud cake. But you do ask for ice cream every night.
no.
Anytime we have
But-
cookies, you want a cookie. So it's very
I'm all of
abstract.
the above. No, but what's like my ideal? There's 2 of my like favorite desserts, ideal desserts, and
Cookie, ice cream, cake. Imagine that. That'd be so funny.
No, do you give up?
I give up, yeah.
Warm cookies with ice cream.
Oh, okay.
You know when you warm up the cookie, like, and then
yeah.
you have the ice cream on top. Because there's 2 things that I always ask for. Is it warmed up cookies. The amount of times we've made in a little baking dish a cookie batter just for it to be scooped up with ice cream, or brownie and ice cream, but that wasn't a part of it.
You got a point. Yeah.
You go.
All right, what was my... Dude,
Number
yours are so more abstract. Mine suck. All right, my next sucky question is, what was my childhood book?
Like, picture book?
The book that was like always written to me.
So like your picture book?
Yeah.
I know exactly what I can't remember the title.
You remember the guy?
It's the guy on the really big front wheel, little back wheel
penny
bike.
farthing.
Oh my God, what's it called?
Oh.
I can't remember what it's called. As soon as you say it,
No,
it's oh my God.
As soon as I say it, you're going to be like...
I know exactly what it is. It's on the tip
Yeah.
of my tongue. I just can't.
So it's a
say
bicycle.
Mr.
No.
No, you're just going to say
Mulga Bill.
Mulga Bill.
Mulga Bill bicycle.
I was right with the m.
Yeah, Mulga Bill. It was Mulga Bill from Eagle Hawk.
Yeah.
Who caught the cycling craze. And we won't read the whole book, but we can recite this.
Number 4.
Anyhow. Yes.
My last 2 are not as obscure, by the way.
Okay.
What is my favorite book series? Bonus, if you can pick which book is my favorite out of the series.
Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2.
1.
Damn.
Deathly Hallows Part 2 is only in the movies.
Oh, Deathly Hallows.
It's not like the book was...
Like the second half of the Deathly Hallows book.
And no, that's wrong. We literally talked about this last night.
Oh. Kingdom of...
That's not the...
something.
That's not the series.
Kingdom of Hearts, but that's a game.
No. So my favorite book series...
Throne of Glass.
Throne
that's
of Glass.
It, not Kingdom of Ash. I keep
That's
saying Kingdom
the last
of Ash.
book.
Because I think of you
Well,
and
Kingdom
I
of
go,
Ash
well,
is
it's
the last
Ash.
book.
It's her kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which one out of those... You can read the titles over there.
Is
They're behind
your
the camera.
favorite? What the... I'm going to say the Heir of Fire.
Yeah.
Really?
It actually is.
Oh, I just remember you saying that one a lot.
So there's
when you're
Heir of
reading it.
Fire is my favorite book. It's book 4 out of 8. But the
Goblet of Fire.
Sorry.
The Goblet of Fire of the Throne of Glass series.
The one I cried the most in was
Oh.
Kingdom of Ash.
Is that because it's all about you?
Can you remember you would come home and I'd be halfway
Yeah,
through
true.
and I'd be weeping.
Yeah.
I actually had to put the book down like 4 times.
Yeah. And then you pick it up again. Just
And then
get
I'd have
through
to
a
pick it
page
up
and
again.
Cry, put it back
Literally.
down. Yeah, it's very much.
Really bad. Anyways, go for it.
Again, mine aren't obscure enough. Am I a candy corn or whatever person? No. What is my favorite podcast?
Shane Gillis.
I
don't know what it's called.
Do you know what it's called?
No.
Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
That's
Shout out
right.
the dogs.
Matt and Shane's secret podcast. I know it's
I'll,
Shane.
I'll get because my other thing was their hint, like fave comedian currently.
Yeah, Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis.
Whatever his
Gillies
podcast
and
is.
Gibbs. Yeah, Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
Okay.
Shout out the dogs.
Number 5.
Yeah.
What is my favorite Harry Potter book and my favorite Harry Potter movie? Hint, they're not the same.
Well, before we started, we did mention this question and that I don't know the answer. Thank God we talked about Goblet of Fire before because that was going to be my favorite movie one for you. But no, Prisoner of Azkaban would be your favorite movie.
Correct.
Deathly Hallows' favorite book.
You heard me talking about this before.
No, because I just noticed before when we said Deathly Hallows, you were like, yes, but no. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I've got that one correct. And thank God we talked about Goblet of Fire before because I was going to say Goblet of Fire because Goblet of Fire is like my favorite movie from the series.
And that's because you haven't read the book.
That's because because we've listened to the book of that. But I think that is still the most entertaining movie.
We drove up to Queensland and we listened to the Goblet of Fire audiobook. You're correct.
The whole story of like the Olympic Games, but Olympic Wizard Games.
So far.
I've forgotten what the fuck they're called. What are they called? The Tri-Wizard Cup. That's it.
The Tri-Wizard Tournament.
Oh my God.
So far, Jay has read
Olympic Wizard Games.
The first book.
Mm-hmm.
We read that together. Half of the second book, and we've listened to the fourth book. That is it. That is Jay's knowledge of the Harry Potter books.
Hmm.
Good job. All right, your last one?
My last one is what would be my favorite era of history to learn about?
The Roman Empire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know that like meme that went
I had
around?
a close tie between Roman or World War II. Currently, it's probably Roman history, but World War II is probably what I know the most about.
To be fair, I'm obsessed with World War II as well. So I think we feed each other's like obsession with that. Not obsession, but like interest. We like pique each other's interest with that. But yeah, definitely Roman Empire, because when that thing went around, that trend of like asking when the boys never like last thought about the Roman Empire, and it's like every day. That's actually Jay, 100%.
Yeah.
He says to me like once a week, he'll be like, when was the last time you thought about the Roman Empire? And I'll be like, I don't know, when you forced me to watch Gladiator 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
He'll be like, I thought about it this morning.
That's it. Literally.
And then I'm like, but why? And he'll explain it, and I'm like, but why?
Do we want to? So we're at an hour and 5. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty good. I think we've covered a lot today.
Do we want to Well, because I was saying we can like
Don't sit like that. You're showing off everything.
Sorry, guys.
To the video.
They can't see it.
Jay was like full crotch shot.
I'll blur that out.
Yeah.
We can keep going and we can talk some smack on that if we want. When I say talk smack,
I think we should save Roman Empire for its own episode.
Okay, we can do that.
I genuinely think you'll be able to talk about it for a whole hour.
Yeah, that's why I'm now. You got me gassed up to just talk Roman Empire.
Well, right after this, we're now going to read the next. Like we're going to record the next episode just on the Roman Empire.
After this.
No.
No.
Anyways, thanks for listening. Yeah. And if you've stuck around this long, that's actually great. And
it's good for us.
Thank you, Jay's mum and Jay's brother, for listening to this all the way through, because
yeah. But funny enough, if you are listening to this, we are releasing this with 4 episodes, so we're going to plan to record our first 4 and then make sure we can get through it and upload all those 4 at once.
Yeah.
So if you listen to this, go check out the other 3, which should be on whatever channel this is, and
whatever name we figure out is for the pod.
Yeah. So whatever title is there is the name we come up with, because I think it should honestly be Olympic Wizards, but that might be a better band name than a.
That's not a great idea, I don't think.
Goblet of Fire is now forever called the Olympic Wizard Tournament.
No.
Yeah, but
oh my goodness. Anyway. Okay.
Anyway, and if you're watching the video and you've noticed the TV keeps going on and off in the background.
Oh, and like the lighting goes a bit funny.
Changes.
Yeah.
I will fix that because I've worked out halfway through this episode how to fix it. But we're having a lot of fun.
But yeah.
This is cool.
We'll see you next episode.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.